Here we will talk about absolute value equations and inequalities. Let's recall what is the meaning for absolute value. An absolute value of a number, say this number is x, is a constant. Let's say this constant is 3. Is denoted by absolute value of x equals 3. That means the distance between x and 0 is 3. From the numerical axis, you can see here is 0. Then the distance between 0 and a number, this number could be on the left-hand side or could be on the right-hand side of 0. If this number is on the left-hand side of 0, then this x might be negative 3. If this number is on the right-hand side of 0, then this x may have a value positive 3. So, one can see x has two values, which are positive, negative 3. So basically, you can do is that you can write x equals negative 3, comma, and positive 3. You can write it this way. Now, with this thing in our mind, if you look at this example, x plus 7 equals 2, then the final answer for x plus 7 either is positive 2, which is on the right-hand side, or x plus 7, the whole thing inside the absolute value, is negative 2. The first one, x plus 7 is positive 2 if both sides minus 7. Then you have a 7 positive, negative 7 are cancelled. So you have a 7 minus 2 minus negative 7, you have a x is negative 5. X plus 7 equals negative 2. Both sides minus negative 7, so you have a negative 7, positive 7 are cancelled. And then you have a negative 7 minus 2, which gives us negative 9. So in this case, x has two values. One is negative 5, another is negative 9. So x has two values, two solutions. So for absolute value equation, x has two solutions. You see, x here is negative 3, positive 3. X right here is negative 5, negative 9. The reason is x plus 7 can be positive 2, and x plus 7 can be negative 2. So there are two cases. Similarly, for 3x minus 6 equals 9, then the whole thing inside the absolute value 3x minus 6 can be positive 9 and can be negative 9. So 3x minus 6 can be 9, 3x minus 6 can be negative 9. If 3x minus 6 is positive 9, both sides add 6, you cancel this positive negative 6. So you have a 3x equals, right-hand side is 9 plus 6 is 15. And then divided by 3 on both sides, you have a 3 cancels right here. So x is 5, which is from 15 divided by 3. So that's one solution. Another one is from 3x minus 6 equals negative 9. So 3x equals negative 3 is because you add positive 6 on both sides. Positive 6, add on that, cancel this negative 6. So you have a 3x equals positive 6 minus 9, you have a negative 3. So x equals negative 1. Okay? Now, try yourself. Look at this one. 5a minus 2 with absolute value minus 8 equals 0. This one is slightly different from the ones above. You want to do is that you add 8 on both sides. So negative and positive 8 are cancelled. Then you have an absolute value of 5a minus 2 is positive 8 because 0 plus 8 is 8. And here negative and positive 8 are cancelled. So then you do is 5a minus 2 equals positive 8 and 5a minus 2 equals negative 8. So it's like here positive negative 9, positive negative 2. The final answer is a equals negative 6 over 5. Another value is x equals 2. So there are two solutions for a. This one looks a little bit more complicated. So you want to do is minus 5 on both sides. So cancel this positive 5. Then you get 2. Copy this one. 2 times absolute value 3x plus 1 equals 8. Because 13 minus 5 is 8. Now, then both sides divided by 2. So you have this 2, those 2 are cancelled. The left hand side is 3x plus 1 with absolute value. The right hand side is 8 divided by 2, which gives us 4. And then from 3x plus 1 with absolute value equals 4, you then have 2 cases. One is 3x plus 1 equals 4, positive. Another is 3x plus 1 equals negative 4, negative. Then you go from there, you have two solutions. One is x equals negative 5 thirds. Another is x equals positive 1. So there are two solutions. Now, let's look at the absolute value inequalities. Look at this one next. Let's look at this one. Look at this one first. X minus 1 with absolute value less than 2. Look. This one means what? Means the distance between 0 and x minus 1 is 2. The distance between 0 and a number which is less than 2, so this number has to be somewhere here or somewhere here. Okay? Why is that? Look, here is 2. Here is 2. The distance between 2 and 0, or between negative 2 and 0 is 2. Then the distance between 0 and any points right here should be less than 2. And the distance between 0 and any number on the left-hand side of 0 the points has to be right here. All the points have to be right here. This tells us that this quantity x minus 1, this quantity, has to be less than 2 and greater than negative 2. So all the points must be from this point, negative 2, to this point, positive 2. If there were a point right here or outside of -2, then the distance between 0 and some point right here would be greater than 2. Okay? So you don't want the points outside of -2 and on the right-hand side of +2. So this quantity x minus 2 has to be less than 2 on the left-hand side of this 2 and on the right-hand side of -2. So then this quantity has to be less than 2 and greater than -2. All right. Now, you add 1 on those three quantities. Negative, positive are cancelled. So -2 plus 1, you have a -1. Positive 2 plus 1, you have a positive 3. So x is in between -1 and 3. Another way of expressing this is that -1 to 3. -1 and 3 are not included, so you want to use the round brackets. -1, positive 3, so you want to use the round bracket. You don't want to use the square bracket. You don't want to use something like this. This means -1 and 3 are included. But round bracket means -1 and 3 are not included. Alright? Why it is not included? Look, if you include 3, you put 3 here, 3 minus 1 is 2. Absolute value of 2 is equal to 2, not less than 2. So that's why 3 cannot be included. So is the case for -1. If you put -1 here, -1 minus 1, you have a -2. With the absolute value, that equals 2 instead of less than 2. So that's why -1 and 3 are not included. We want to use the round bracket. Okay, look at this one. This one is less than or equal to right here. Okay, you have a 2 on the left-hand side of this less than or equal to. You want to minus 2 to cancel these 2 and leave absolute value alone on the left-hand side. And then 5 minus 2, you have a 3. Again, right here, the distance between 0 and b is less than 3. So that means any points between somewhere here, between 0 and the point right here is less than 3. 3 can be included because 0 and 3, the distance between those 2 points is 3. So then you use square bracket. The points, of course, cannot be outside of this one. That shows between 0 and this point, the distance is greater than 3. So is the case for the -3. Okay, because the distance between b, we don't know where b is, but we know the distance between b and 0 is less than 3. So any point from right-hand side of -3 up to 0, all the points right here are okay, but not the points on the left-hand side of -3. If the point were here, then the distance between this value and 0 is greater than 3, you can see. So it must be, cutting point must be -3 to 0. And -3 is included. So you use square bracket. If you put -3 here, you know -3 and 0, the distance between those 2 points is 3. And 3 equals 3. So here we have an equal sign. So it's correct. Try this one yourself. Alright? Then you know the first step is you want to plus 4 on both sides. take this constant to the right-hand side. Then you have 4x plus 2 less than 6, because negative and positive 4 are cancelled. 2 plus 4, you have a 6. And you leave 4x plus 2 with absolute value on the left-hand side. Then from here, you know 4x plus 2 less than 6, but greater than negative 6. So you do the similar thing we did right here. And then you will find out the solution. X must be greater than negative 2, less than 1. Or you write like that. Round bracket, negative 2, comma, 1, round bracket. This shows that negative 2 and 1 are not included, is because here there is no equal sign right here. Now, let's look at the greater than. You see, less than or equal, you will get an interval like that. 1 point, another point. The interval is from 1 point to another solution. For greater than, you will see that's different. A quantity with absolute value greater than 1 means the distance between this big point, between this point and 0 is greater than 1. Okay? So this tells us what? This tells us that if here is 0, here is negative 1, here is positive 1, the point has to be this side or this side. Okay? It cannot be in between negative 1 and 1 because any point right here, the point between this point and 0 is less than 1. But the distance between the point here and 0 is greater than 1. The distance between the points here and 0 is greater than 1 also, because this is 1 unit. Okay? So here it says 2x plus 3, this quantity with distance greater than 1, then 2x plus 3 must be somewhere on the right-hand side of 1. 2x plus 3 greater than 1 means this side. And 2x plus 3 less than or equal to 1 means the left-hand side. Because the left-hand side always less than the value on the right-hand side. So, 2x plus 3 less than or equal to negative 1 on the left-hand side of negative 1, or 2x plus 3 greater than or equal to 1 on the right-hand side of 1. It says that. Now, 2x plus 3 less than or equal to negative 1, you minus 3 on both sides, you cancel positive negative 3. So you have a left-hand side is 2x, right-hand side is negative 1 minus negative 3, you have a negative 4. And then divided by 2, you cancel 2, 2, so you have x on the left-hand side. Right-hand side is just negative 4 divided by 2, which is negative 2. All right. Now look at this one. This one, you minus 3 on both sides, similarly to this one. You have a positive, negative 3 are cancelled. And then left-hand side, you just have a 2x left over. 1 minus 3 is negative 2 on the right-hand side, divided by 2 on both sides, so you have x greater than or equal to negative 1. Here, positive, here, 2, 2 are cancelled. And negative 2 divided by 2, you have negative 1. So this tells us that x is either less than or equal to negative 2. Here is negative 2, so from this point to the left, because x is less than or equal to negative 2. Remember, all the values which is on the left will be less than the point on the right. You see, -2 is less than -1. -1 is less than 0. 0 is less than 1. So the points less than -2 should be the points on the left-hand side of -2. And here -2 is included, so you want to use the square bracket. So -2 to the left-hand side, -infinity, okay, to the -infinity in this direction. Now, here x is greater than or equal to -1. Okay, -1 is right here. So starting from -1, and -1 is included because there is an equal sign right here. So from this point to the right. And here is the square bracket, -1, and here is infinity to the positive infinity. All right? Now, try this one yourself. This one says that 3x plus 2 with absolute value greater than 5. So you want to do is what? 3x plus 2 is greater than 5, like that. And 3x plus 2 is less than what? -5. From 3x plus 2 less than -5, you will have the solution x is less than -7/3. And from 3x plus 2 greater than 5, you will have a solution x is greater than 1. Okay, put those two solutions together. Here is the union. And then since there is no equal signs right here, then you want to do is from +1 to the right, and 1 is not included. So you want to use the round bracket. And right here from -7/3 to the left, -7/3 is not included, so you want to use the round bracket to the left. -infinity to the left. Okay? Try to find out similar questions in your book and do it. You can then handle that. And good luck with your test. I'll see you in next lecture.